main question. You know what I mean? All right. Welcome to the Practical Pistol Show, everybody. My name is Ben. We're here to answer your shooting questions. On deck today, Tim, Heron.
Hey, guys.
Nick.
Hello, everyone.
Backdoor Matt. Matt, you're having an effect, by the way.
I know, dude. It's awesome. I got called on going out back through the stage though once.
You motherfucker! You hypocrite son of a bitch!
Dude, I got one step going back out, and like 3 people said something.
Yeah, see?
On my squad.
They don't want none of your shit. All right, here's a question. In the last podcast, you talked about doing 50% of your live fire training on one target. Can you and your guys talk about your current training schedule and specifically what are you working on and why? Also, what physical training do you incorporate into your schedule, i.e. footwork drills or agility? Holy shit. I don't know how detailed I'm going to be on this. Hopkins, tell the man what's up.
I'm working on like at least 25-yard shots right now when I practice. So I go out, set up like 3 targets with a no-shoot on them at least, and work on shooting those targets right now.
Any sort of time standard?
I'm still working on hitting all the targets clean.
I've done that. You're going to be working on it a while, bro. I'd be still working on it too.
Timer in there and try to push the times down. I have noticed if I play with grip pressure, it's pretty interesting what happens. Like while you're shooting and how much faster you can shoot.
Yeah, if you actually hold the gun.
Pressure. Yeah. It's kind of interesting. Pretty eye-opening. That's all I got. That's all I'm actually working on right now.
All right, Nick.
So
this will be our best answer of all of us. Nick will have the best answer.
It'll be the most interesting answer, maybe. It's probably not. I don't know if it's going to be the right answer yet or not. But I'm actually taking a little break for production right now. I got kind of a big hole in my major match schedule, and I wouldn't want to do this for a little while anyway. So I'm actually shooting limited for about 2 to 3 months right now. So what I'm doing is mostly related to trying to move aggressively while not reloading, shoot faster coming into positions, just physically move harder coming out of positions, and all that kind of stuff that I would characterize as trying to drive the stage time down. So I'm trying to make my natural shooting stance lower to the ground than it is right now. That kind of jazz. So that's mostly what I'm working on at the moment.
Any footwork, agility nonsense?
Not specifically outside of shooting. I've been doing a lot of studying video of kind of top open and limited guys lately, and trying to make my footwork look like that. But I haven't been doing specific agility drills per se.
Okay.
Although I don't think that would be a bad idea.
Mr. Heron. What are you working on?
For me, obviously just got back from Single Stack Nationals a couple weeks ago, so already really know what my weaknesses were, and a lot of what I'm incorporating right now in my training is a lot like what Matt's working on, so a lot of distance partials. Everything, I mean, closest distance has been like 15 yards all the way out to, 20, 25, and 30 yards. I've been using a lot of no-shoots. I've been doing a lot of stuff like with, I think you discussed that with me not too long ago, Ben, about like putting no shoots behind your targets that you're shooting to make yourself accountable for, shots you might have blazed over the shoulder of a no shoot or things like that.
Yeah, that's because you know us, we like to cheat a lot and not paste every run every time.
Right.
So, yes, that is a good way to kind of make sure that there's nothing going on where it shouldn't be going.
Yep.
I'm with you.
As far as the other thing I'm really kind of working on too, and I think it actually showed and paid dividends with the stages that I shot very well at Single Stack Nationals, was transitions, and whether it be transitioning from a hard target to an easy target, or an open target to a partial, and getting my transitions sped up to where things, instead of just like addressing each target to and addressing the next target to, like really shooting things not necessarily in cadence, but just letting my speed, letting the target presentation kind of dictate the speed that I shoot, whether it be faster or slower. and then been transitioning from paper to steel and doing a lot of like call it and leave it type of drills and things like that. So like one shot on steel, call the shot, and then like exploding out of position. So, and I just built a couple of walls last week for my practice range to incorporate a lot more movement to ensure that I've got the gun up ready to shoot when I come right into position. And then putting a timer on that has been a little difficult, but I'm using a timer based on just a start to the first shot fired from, like, say, a known distance of, like, say, moving from 5 yards from the start to a position and get shooting, and how soon can I get shooting and call good shots on the paper. So.
Where did Hopkins go?
I don't know. He disappeared.
What an asshole. All right. So I've been working on. Jesus, so much stuff. I've been really focused on distance shooting, target transitions, movements, and God, I think I've been doing a lot. I would say rapid fire on long targets, which is I kind of separate from shooting accurately on long targets. Those are the things I've been focused on, especially in live fire. I do everything all the time, as you guys know. So I've been working with a special focus on those things. Dry fire, I work on everything all the time. I'll probably switch back into more close range, high speed, like gun handling type of nonsense when USPSA Nationals approaches to get ready for that. And yes, I have been doing footwork drills and agility, things like plyometrics, weight vest training, that sort of stuff. I've been doing all of the stuff. So that has been my training. Is that adequately explained, guys?
That's pretty well rounded, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know me. I work on everything all the time, and then focus on a little bit on this other stuff. I feel like my distance shooting has improved this year, so I'm very, very pleased with that. But I've been putting in a lot of rounds on it, so
cool.
Jesus Christ, if I wasn't getting better, I think I might just quit.
Well, there's always IDPA.
There's not, though. We've talked about this. There's not.
Yeah, we have.
Maybe they're going to sort that out someday, but I wouldn't hold my breath. Okay. So let's move on to the first question. I'm not really sure what to do with this one, so maybe you guys have a good idea. All right. The day my M class rolled over, I'm picking up in the middle of a, overly long email, but
Okay.
the day my M class rolled over, I slipped in the mud at a 2-gun match and tore my quad tendon off and severely tore my quad muscle. Fuck me in the ass, right? As of today, I'm about 8 weeks out of reconstructive surgery. I can almost walk normal, but cannot run, jump, stop abruptly, etc. I will not be doing those things for at least 8 more weeks. Back to normal state could take a year, if at all. I picked up my gun to start dry firing again for the first time this week, and I'm looking at what I can accomplish in 2016. Coming up with the same conclusion, set my sights at GM. Since most of the classifiers are stand and deliver, maybe some reloading, etc., this seems within my physical capabilities. Finally, the question is, should I break down everything I'm doing and build it again from the ground up? What would you and or the panel of extraordinary gentlemen do in a similar situation? Mainly looking for advice. What do you guys think? You can't really run around anymore. Hopkins, what would you do?
I'd listen to his doctor first off.
No, fuck those guys. What would you do?
Shoot steel challenge.
There, of course that's what you do. It's actually not a bad answer. I don't know if it's available in his region.
Start one up.
Oh my God!
He
can't walk, and you want him to pick up steel and set up matches?
No, you should find somebody to do that for him.
Well, then that would be talking that other idiot into starting it up. You don't do it yourself.
I don't know. You could buy a set for.
No, he just pulls an inception on that motherfucker and be like, "You really want to start a steel match?" I heard.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a bad plan what he has. I don't think he should be looking forward to a lot. Get healed up and then go again next year, maybe.
All right. What do you think, Nick?
So I have a little bit of experience with this. I actually tore my quad muscle, not nearly this bad, but I had what the internet described as a grade 2 quad strain or something like that, quad tear. Took me probably 2.5 months to really fully recover, but I didn't ever go to I have a doctor. I have a friend who's a doctor who basically told me that that if I went to a doctor to get an official opinion, all they would tell me is rest it and take Advil or whatever.
So you want him to go
I
play
just
doctor
took
with his friend? Is what you want him to do?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I went to shoot a match while it was pretty hurt. That was not necessarily a good idea. I wouldn't do it again. I mean, probably it's based on the situation. It sounds to me like probably my highest priority. If I thought I could make it all the way back physically, my top focus would be on that. So doing whatever the doctor says, I'd be trying to physically recover and stay not injured as my absolute top priority. Shooting wise, I would, Steel Challenge sounds good. I'd, run after the 100 projects. You have a ton of classifiers you can shoot, without moving around a lot. I would try to keep shooting, but I would, my top priority would be not re-injuring or setting back my.
Shoot Bianchi. That's also a sport that you don't have to move in.
Yeah, it's also a sport that doesn't exist really outside of your region. But
That's
yeah.
very true.
Good
That
thing.
is very true.
I've never even
I don't know where he's
seen one of those
from.
happen. I
Go
don't know
shoot
what
a
it is.
sport that nobody shoots. Shoot bullseye.
You can
Oh,
start
my God.
Yeah, bullseye.
Oh my God. Oh.
You got to really think, honestly, for this guy, it's not necessarily that he's going to be at a huge disadvantage with having an injury that just keeps him, pretty much immobile as far as being able to shoot stages and things. But everything else that we do, as far as gun handling, manipulation, draws, reloads, target transitions, and all that kind of stuff, can all still be worked to the extreme. So, I mean, it's not like his shooting. I don't think I would see that I wouldn't see that his shooting would completely be, I don't know, off his game or off par just because he's having, he can't run quickly from one position to the next. So, I mean, there's plenty of stuff he can work on to really help improve his game.
Yeah, I can tell you this is painful. Like, it will impact your movement bad. Like, honestly.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying is I don't want him to move. I'm just saying everything he can do as far as like stand and shoots, kind of like you talked about, Nick. Doing the 100 project, things like that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff he can work on, without having to affect movement or to impart movement that would exacerbate the injury or hurt him worse. That he can work on that still keep him at the top of his game or allow him to learn or to improve.
I think he should not be shooting matches right now.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah,
I would stay away from matches. Definitely agree with that.
I think he should stay away for a while. Sounds like a long time, but he should be training, stand and shoot, training very hard.
Yes.
But no matches.
Yeah.
Probably matches are probably going to exacerbate your injury.
Yeah, so he should. I mean, if you want to work on shooting, work on shooting. I think view this as the opportunity it is, where you're going to be training for a while, forced and no matches.
Right.
And you should come back better.
Think about it. There's it's good isolation training. I mean, you could. I want to say look at it trying to
look at the
find a
positives.
silver lining, but that is a positive. It's like
Well,
now I don't have to confuse myself with matches and bullshit. Now I can just focus on.
For example, if somebody hit me in the hand with a hammer, if somebody hits me in the right hand with a hammer, that would really suck.
Yeah.
But
you'd be the best fucking weekend shooter you've ever seen.
I would be amazing shooting weekend if somebody really did hit me in the hand with a hammer. So, I mean, take it as an opportunity and do the best you can with it until you get better. Okay.
Definitely.
Next question. Have you ever experienced shooting better groups under time constraints? I noticed that my slow fire, no time limit, groups are worse than when shooting the same group with an intermediate time limit. I'm shooting at a 25-yard bullseye, and I'm experiencing better groups with a 10 to 15 second par time. My best guess is I overthink the entire process, trigger pull, and sight picture during slow fire. I'm going to tell you, I think he's probably right. I have experienced this phenomenon. I've seen it in a lot of people. To a certain extent, it's a lot easier to shoot faster when you're not sitting there fucking thinking about it. Your thoughts, Mr. Nick?
I can't say I've ever observed that directly. I'll say that I have what I'd say is a pretty rapid time limit to where I don't really shoot any better. Like if I take more than like 2 seconds, I'm probably not going to shoot a better shot than I can within. If I'm trying to shoot the tightest group possible, under what I consider to be no time limit. If I shoot faster than once every couple seconds, it's going to be. If I shoot slower than that, it's probably not getting any better than it is at about that pace.
What do you think, Hopkins?
As much thought as I put into it.
I don't know. Skip me, go on. I lost all the questions, so I can't reread them.
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm bad at this, dude. It's like my first time.
All right. Yes, this is the real thing. Anyway, let's go to the next question. Hopkins, you're first up, so pay attention, motherfucker. I was wondering if there is a time to use your offhand for support on a barrier for a really hard lean to shoot around a corner, or what do you recommend for this? Hopkins.
You have to, depending on the shot. Like, if there's a wall and you can't see it two-handed and you have to shoot it one-handed, you got to shoot it one-handed. Even if it's left or right-handed, it doesn't matter.
I can add to this. There may be times where you can conceivably like hook your foot around a wall and find a way out of shooting one-handed. Oftentimes you're better off just like grabbing the wall, getting a much more stable position, getting into it faster and whatnot, and shooting one-handed than you are trying to shoot in a two-handed position. That's extremely awkward otherwise. Your thoughts, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, if it's a position where it's going to take you, forever to get into any kind of two-handed stance, then yeah, go one-handed. That should be a skill that you are not afraid to use if the situation's going to, be faster shooting it that way.
All right.
Tim, you got anything?
He doesn't have anything. He doesn't have anything to add to that.
Nope.
Who
What
would?
Nick and Ben said.
It was amazing. That's basically Tim's role, is what these other guys said.
I'd say if you're completely, if you have no confidence in your one-handed shooting ability, be it strong or weak hand, that's something you need to address.
Yep.
Yes, you should get better.
So
if you're not good,
sometimes.
you should get better. If you're good, you should get better. If you're awesome, you should get better. Yes?
Exactly.
Dude, I'll tell you what about my strong hand and weak hand shooting, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. I've been shooting a lot at like 10, 15-yard partials, strong hand and weak hand only. I'm not as good as I'd like to be, sir.
Oh, I'm not as good as I like to be either.
No, but when you put up a lot of white, it
makes you
how
scary.
not good you are.
I'm trying to give an interesting stat for this, but I just thought of this right now, so I don't know if it's good. But if I go through like an average USPSA match, I don't want to see any shots that I couldn't have confidence that I could make strong hand, weak hand only with unlimited time. Does that make sense?
That's a good marker. Yeah, I like that.
That's
I want to be able, with unlimited time, I would like to be able to shoot a 25-yard, like half partial, and have a pretty good idea that I'm going to be able to hit it. No time constraint.
That's reasonable. Eminently reasonable. Entirely reasonable, actually.
Do you think you're there?
Are you there, Nick?
Are you at that point yet?
Nick?
Yeah.
That'd be borderline. Last year I shot a good bit of that, like fixed time standards with 3 targets at from like 30 yards strong hand, 20 yards. No, 30 yards free hand, 20 yards strong hand, 10 yards weak hand deal. And I got better at that point. I haven't been hitting it too much this year, but I hope I'd started a stronger position than I finished last year.
Matt, I haven't gotten better at that stuff. I'm trying. Fuck my world. All right, another bang-up show, guys. As always, audience, if you have a question you want us to talk about, send it to me, benstegger.com. Email it to me, and we'll be happy to address it.